Enjoy the holiday season with the Alolan Festivities design, available on shirts, hoodies, mugs even. You can get one for yourself to wrap up nice and warm, or one for a present for a friend. Links to where you can get your own are in the description below. Hey Pokemon Masters, Birdkeepertoby here. I love Mimikyu. I think it's one of the most inventive and awesome Pokemon, and I'm definitely gonna have one on my team in Sun and Moon. It has a cool backstory too, but did you know with the appearance of Red, its backstory just got a lot deeper and a lot better. In fact, it's helped flesh out the entire lore of the Pokemon world. Before I jump into this little theory, just remember that a comment and a like on any of my videos titled Sun and Moon is an entry towards your chance to winning a copy of Sun and Moon, and yes, it is going to be worldwide, so make sure to leave those likes and comments. As I say, it's a short theory, but let's get to it. And I'm going to start off by reading Mimikyu's description on the Pokemon website. Honestly, one of the best backstories to a Pokemon ever. Mimikyu lives its life completely covered by its cloth, and it's always hidden. People believe that anybody who sees its true form beneath the cloth will be stricken with a mysterious illness. People in the Alola region are convinced that you must never try to peek beneath its covering. Mimikyu's health fails when it's bathed in the rays of the sun, so it prefers to stick to dark places. It's rumoured that the reason it covers itself with the cloth is to avoid sunlight. It then follows up with, the rising popularity of Pikachu-styled merchandise around 20 years ago is the reason that Mimikyu makes itself look like Pikachu. In fact, this Pokemon is dreadfully lonely, and it thought it'd be able to make friends with humans if only it looked like Pikachu. That is adorable, and that first bit of text about striking people with mysterious illnesses is actually something I've already done a theory on. It's really good, I think, and it solves a mystery from Oras, so do go and check it out. But today I want to have a look at part 2 of that statement, the bit that talks about Pikachu's popularity and how it wants to look like Pikachu, and what that actually tells us about the Pokemon world as a whole. Because truthfully, Pikachu did become very popular around about 20 years ago. In 1996, Pokemon was released, and Pikachu became the mascot of a franchise that was a massive fad. People loved Pikachu, they wanted anything and everything that had Pikachu on it. Of course, that was here in the real world. In the Pokemon world, that doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Pikachu must have become famous in the Pokemon world for a different reason to the reason it became famous in ours. Now, 20 years ago in the Pokemon timeline from Sun and Moon would have been Fire Red and Leaf Green, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Those are the events that chronologically happened 20 years ago. And there's not a lot to do with Pikachu happening in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, although we do know the Pokemon was semi-popular given that the costumes that some of the characters wear. But it is speculated, thanks to the potential appearance of Leocul, that Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green happened a little teeny bit earlier than Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. More or less the same time. And what were the events of the Generation 1 games? Well, let's see, you've got this kid called Red, who we know exists in the same world as Sun and Moon. And that is, of course, 20 years later, because you can see he looks pretty much older on his face. But you've got this kid called Red beginning his journey, and Pikachu, as we know, is a centerpiece of his team. And this 10-year-old child travels Kanto, gets all of the badges very, very quickly, defeats the Indigo League, including the champion Lance, takes down a very public, evil organization, Team Rocket, and catches all the Pokemon in the region, including Mew and Mewtwo. This kid is a child prodigy, and as I said, Team Rocket were very public, whereas Team Aqua Magma at the same time were taking over, small museums and mountaintops. Team Rocket were busy taking over Silphco, the biggest corporation in the Pokemon world. So you can bet when this nobody kid turns up at a Pallet Town and stops like this evil organization and saves the biggest industry in the Pokemon world, well, you can be sure that people are going to be talking about him. But what's more impressive is the centerpiece of his team, as I mentioned earlier, is Pikachu, a non-evolved Pokemon, and he used that to take on Lance and the other Elite Four members and the new champion. He dethroned a new champion within 5 to 10 minutes with his Pikachu, a non-evolved Pokemon. And you think surely people won't go nuts about that? Well, think back to 2014, the World Championships. Yeah, here in the real world, when it was won with a Pachirisu. Pachirisu became the face of competitive battling. People love this Pokemon. And in the Pokemon world, the same thing happened with Pikachu. It became very, very popular very, very quickly because of Red. And because of that, Mimikyu wanted to be like Pikachu. Red is what caused Mimikyu to take the form it has today. It's all Red's fault. Of course, that means that it's Red's fault that there was Pikachu merchandise everywhere, and that resulted in the theory of someone else dying because of him and Mimikyu. Yeah, Red inadvertently killed someone with his infamy. Why don't you check out that theory as soon as you're done here? Again, don't forget to leave a comment here and there so you get your chance to win a copy of Sun and Moon. And of course, I have my Alolan Festivity shirts and jumpers and mugs, so make sure you grab one of those, links at the top of the description. So hi, Pokemon Masters.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeepertoby. That makes you a